Okay, so everyone, are you ready to go back to fair Verona?
Always ready for more Shakespeare.
I thought so. This time, we're taking a deep dive into Act 5, Scene 2 of Romeo and Juliet.
Oh, this is where things start to get really crazy, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So, to quickly recap, Romeo's been banished, Juliet's faked her own death, and Friar Lawrence is trying to hold this whole crazy plan together.
But as we're about to find out, things don't exactly go according to plan.
Right. And that's where this scene picks up.
Mm.
We're with Friar Lawrence, and he's anxiously waiting to hear back from Friar John.
Friar John, the messenger who was supposed to deliver that all-important letter to Romeo.
That letter is pretty much the linchpin of the entire plan, right?
Absolutely, the letter's supposed to explain everything to Romeo.
You know, Juliet's not actually dead. She just took a potion to make it look that way. And he needs to come get her ASAP.
Then they can run away together and live happily ever after. That's the plan anyway.
Right. A very elaborate plan.
But, spoiler alert, Friar John never actually makes it to Romeo.
Wait, what? Seriously?
Yeah, it's a whole thing. He comes back to Friar Lawrence with this wild story.
Okay, I'm on the edge of my seat. What happened?
So apparently, while Friar John was looking for another friar to travel to Mantua with, they ended up
They ended up what?
they ended up getting suspected of being in a house with the plague.
Oh, no.
Yeah, bad timing, right. So they get quarantined.
Plague outbreak. Are you serious?
I know, right? Like, of all the times. And of course, no one's willing to risk their life to deliver this letter because they're afraid of getting infected.
Talk about dramatic irony. We, the audience, know how crucial that letter is.
Right. We're like screaming at Friar John through the pages, just deliver the letter.
Exactly. The tension in this scene is so thick you could cut it with a knife.
It really is. And to make things even more intense, we get this line from Friar Lawrence. Unhappy fortune. By my brotherhood, the letter was not nice, but full of charge of dear import, and the neglecting it may do much danger.
Wow, you can just hear the panic in his voice, right?
Totally. He knows that letter is everything. And now he's left scrambling for a solution.
Do you think there's also a hint of guilt in there, too? Like maybe he's realizing that this whole plan was maybe a little too risky?
Oh, definitely. I think he's starting to see the potential consequences of his actions. It raises a really interesting question, too, about the role of Friar Lawrence in this whole tragedy.
Yeah, is he a well-meaning but ultimately misguided figure?
Or is he, in a way, kind of responsible for what's about to happen?
Hmm, that's something to think about. So what does Friar Lawrence do? Does he just give up hope?
Not quite. He decides he's got to take matters into his own hands. He's going to Juliet's tomb himself.
To Juliet's tomb, what's he planning to do?
He's hoping to be there when she wakes up from the potion, and then he'll figure out a way to get word to Romeo.
Okay, so now it's a race against time. Friar Lawrence is trying to fix this whole mess, and Romeo's still in the dark.
And the audience is just sitting here like, no, 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 this is all wrong.
Right. You can't help but think, if only they had cell phones back then, everything would be so much easier.
Right. A quick text message and all this drama could be avoided.
Seriously. Okay, so we've got a frantic friar, two star-crossed lovers who are totally out of the loop, and a ticking time bomb. What could possibly go wrong?
Oh, just you wait. The ending of this play is going to hit you right in the feels.
I can't wait. But before we get there, I want to point out this line from Friar Lawrence. Poor living corse closed in a dead man's tomb.
Ooh, that's a chilling line.
It's so full of foreshadowing.
Right. Juliet is alive, but everyone thinks she's dead, and she's stuck in this tomb, which could very well become her actual grave.
Talk about a recipe for disaster.
Shakespeare is a master of building suspense and setting the stage for tragedy.
Absolutely. So before we wrap up, I want to leave our listeners with a question. Have you ever experienced a situation where a small miscommunication or a bit of bad luck had huge consequences?
Or how about this? Think about the role of fate and chance in your own life. Do we have control over our destinies, or are we all just pawns in some bigger game?
Ooh, that's a deep one. And a perfect note to end on. So until next time, happy reading, everyone.
And remember, keep those letters coming. Hopefully yours will arrive on time.